Well, hello YouTube. Star Trek Picard episode 2, Maps and Legends. Well, it all seems to be going on, doesn't it? So we find out Captain Picard is on the loose. He's going to find out what's going on with Data's sister, Data's daughter's sister Vaj, the other one. We jumped straight onto the Romulan cube. Seems to be some kind of operation. A lot of other species work in there, but it's obviously run by the Romulans. There's something on the cube. It's disconnected from the collective and they're dismantling it and doing stuff. The Romulan, is it Narek, who turns up, starts having a fling with Vaj number 2, and we jump back to Earth. I really do like Picard's Romulan, the couple that look after him. I think she's awesome. He goes off to Starfleet and they just fuck him off. You know, there's a real confrontation between him and this Admiral when the swearing in this, which I found quite, he must have done something to piss them off. I'll go back to the beginning. The beginning of the episode was the beginning of the episode was marvelous, with the synthetic revolution when they were walking around Utopia Planitia, and they all went. One of them went walking in. They were all talking to it, the working staff. And he let down the planetary defence grid and turned it inwards, and the shields came down, and the old planet, well, it's still burning now because of the damage. And then we jump onto Picard and they go to Vaj's apartment. Like, we're jumping from the vineyard to her apartment where they tried to kidnap her, and then we go back to Picard's vineyard and we find out that there's something behind the Tal Shiar, what I wrote it down, the Jack Vash or something, which is interesting, the Keeper of Secrets. To me, like a Romulan Section 31. Goes off to Starfleet, big argument, walks out of there, contacts them called Rizzo, and he's going to go off into deep space. I like the connection to the Stargazer. The old doctor from there saying, look man, you know, you've got this. Do you remember in episode Next Gen he had some kind of syndrome, didn't he? I forgot what it, I'd have to watch the episode again. That he had this dormant disease in the front of his lobe that were mentioned in Next Generation. Another connection. I loved it when he walked into Starfleet. We see Kirk's ship, then we get to see the Enterprise, Picard's ship. I mean, the canon in this is superb. Why can't Discovery be like this? You know. But the confrontation at Starfleet Command fascinated me with that Admiral. So, it was like she was so annoyed at him, you know, for what he did. And he makes a point, the Federation going against everything. We find out that 14 worlds in the Federation were going to move out if they take the Romulans in. I mean, there's a big political, like, scandal going on here, and I absolutely loved it. One episode is not enough. And then, obviously, Picard, he makes the call, he meets his friend, he brings the bottle of 86 of Picard wine. I don't know what it's called, it's wine. And, you know, obviously he's going to get a ship now. He's the two Romulan couple, I just forgot their names, sorry. She freaks out saying you can't go into space. Look, they really care about him. You know, they're like this little family. He must have done something for them where they stick by him. And she's ex-Tal Shiar, you know, and she starts telling him stuff. I mean, you just can't get enough of this episode. I've only watched it once. I've got to go out, but I'm going to definitely watch this tonight when I get back in. And then we jump onto, like, the Borg cube. We get a bit more. They're dismantling it. All these Borg bodies, they're tearing the bits out. And when he turned up, Narek, and he had that fling with Vaj, I think it was obvious he was working for the Tal Shiar or the Jack Vash, you know. And then we jump to the Commodore at Starfleet Command. Now the question is, at first I thought, is she a Romulan, you know, a Romulan agent as a Commodore? But I don't think she might be. It looks like Starfleet could be involved in this. That's only speculation. There's this chat, and this Romulan operative pops in, Narek's sister. She's like obviously been implanted within Starfleet as undercover. She gets blamed for messing the operation up from last week. So they wanted to get hold of this synthetic to do something with her. They're all looking for Bruce Maddox, which is going to be interesting to see what's happened to him. I wonder if it's going to be the same actor. And this episode, it's moving along very nice. I don't think we're going to get any deep sort of things till about episode 5 when we're going to really get this rolling. But this week's episode was very good, very compact, a lot going on. It wasn't as action-packed, and I'm glad about that. It was more story, more background, that sort of filtering out the future, where this is all going. I'm fascinated by, is it Rizzo who we met at the end, you know, and then the Commodore, what's her connection? Because when the Admiral said to her about Romulan clandestine operations on Earth, we would know about it. And then she's speaking to the Romulans. I can't see Commodore being a Romulan. So I think she's Section 31. There's something going somewhere in all this. Well, obviously we'll find out. I really did feel sorry for Picard when she had to go at him, you know, because he's such a principled man, you know, and he forges deep relationships with people like the Doctor from the Stargazer. I thought it might have been Crusher actually, but I like the scene when his Romulan friend said to him, she said to him, look, you know, he said, I could get LaForge, Worf, Riker, they'd all be here tomorrow, Troy. They'd be here tomorrow and they'd be on a ship with me. There'd be no messing about, they'd be here. But he said, I can't do that to him, and I owe a debt to my old friend Data, you know. And this is like, I've sort of tried to compact a lot in the episode where I think this, like together, I have a theory where this is going. I could be wrong, it's all speculation. I think Law's alive. I do, because I watched the Borg episode, you know, the 2 parts, it Descent, part 1 and 2. I watched it last Sunday. I don't know, I went through, I watched Measure of a Man and all like the Law episodes, you know, with Law. And I think, personally, I think Law's alive, because when Data shot him, he wasn't dead, because he said, I love you, brother. I think they dismantled him, and I think Maddox got hold of him. And I think Law is going to make an appearance in this. I think that's going to be the twist somehow. Law. He was behind the synthetic revolution, because they've gone somewhere, the synthetics that escaped from Mars. So where have they gone? And the Borg connection, which I'm still trying to figure out. Now, they said there was something ancient on the Borg cube, whatever it is. So this Borg cube must be old. And you can see him dismantling it and like the technology. And there's areas in there where it's still dangerous. That's probably because of Borg nanites or whatever. So I can see now where 7 of 9 is going to start coming in. But I don't think she's in it till about episode 4 or 5. So I think next week we're probably going to see Riker. It's going to be next week. But I just roll on next week. I have to say, this has been a fantastic episode. It's been amazing. So, yeah. Roll on next Friday. What a fantastic episode. Right then, guys, I will be on after Doctor Who on Sunday Live for about an hour. Let me know your thoughts after last week's episode. The Solar One podcast will be up on Saturday, the latest, and it is on iTunes. It's free, so give it a look. It's good fun. We talk about classic science fiction. So that's it. Oh, there's so much about Picard I really want to talk about. Right, guys, I will see you on the next episode. Roll on next week.